Welcome to the What Matters Marketing Show, hosted by Kim Skilton. This is your place to be inspired, to learn, and to build the business of your dreams with actionable marketing tools, tips, and resources. Kim Skilton is an award-winning marketer who has worked with some of the world's biggest brands. With more than 20 years of industry experience, Kim knows firsthand what it takes to build a business from the ground up. If you love to learn and are ready to take action, you're in the right place. Click follow so you don't miss an episode. Now let's get into the show.
The difference between business strategy and marketing strategy. That is what we're going to cover in today's What Matters Marketing podcast episode. Our strategy, yep, it's absolutely a buzzword. We hear it in boardrooms, we read it in business articles. It's sort of wielded, I guess, like a secret weapon. But what does it actually mean? And how does it differ from other frequently paired business terms such as marketing strategy? Well, today that is what we are going to go through. I'm going to dissect both and hopefully leave you equipped to conquer this strategic landscape and understand exactly what the difference is between business strategy and marketing strategy. But first, let's rewind the clock and let's start with the origins of the word strategy. And believe it or not, strategy actually came about, or its roots lie in not boardrooms, but actual battlefields. So going back to, Napoleon days even, it was, I guess, a concept that came to light in that period where it evolved as an art of outsmarting opponents, securing victory through calculated choices and resource allocation. So from this, a key principle emerged, which was effective strategy often demands trade-offs. And in my research around the word strategy, this trade-off was the key. So if you think about, scarce resources, they need to be focused on objectives with the highest potential for success, requiring calculated risk and a willingness to abandon less promising avenues. So if as business owners, or if you're responsible for marketing a business as well, there are trade-offs that you need to make all the time, whether that's looking at opportunities, most profitable prospects, what activity should I be doing, where's my biggest market opportunity, and so you're forever assessing and looking at how, where is my highest potential for success. What resources is it going to take to achieve that success? And what is the calculated risk around achieving that success? So I guess for many entrepreneurs out there, if you're anything like me, you have a zillion different ideas, it's a little bit like, what's the latest bright shiny object? And this is where strategy is our saving grace, because if we take the time to write a clear strategy, both the business and marketing strategy, which we'll dive into in more detail, it does keep us focused and it enables us to adequately manage our resources. So I'm probably hearing you saying, yep, give me an amen, I am that person. But if I have a clear roadmap, a clear plan, a clear vision, I'm going to stick to it because I know that's how I'm going to get to achieve my goals. So that's a little bit on where the word strategy came from, so a bit of history on that word. But when it comes to business strategy, if we fast forward to, the modern business world, business strategy acts as the guiding light, the overarching plan, and it steers the organization towards its desired future. Now, it defines the long-term vision, sets ambitious goals, and as I mentioned before, it does give you that roadmap to achieve them. It's all about creating a sustainable competitive advantage, differentiating your company from the pack, and then carving out that unique space in the marketplace for your business. But how does it do this? All right, well, let's dive into a couple of considerations that you want to look at when you're looking at your business strategy. First one is your business purpose. So why do you exist? What problem are you solving? You also want to consider market trends. So, you're forever and should be analyzing the ever-shifting landscape, identifying opportunities and threats. So we can sort of think of that a little bit like a SWOT analysis. You've got customer needs. So we need to understand their desires, their frustrations, evolving expectations. That's such a huge thing in today's world, is these evolving expectations of your customer. We want to look at strengths and weaknesses, and really take an honest assessment of our business. Where do our capabilities lie? What limitations might we have? And be honest about those. Another one is to look at your value creation. So we need to define how our offering is addressing customer needs, but also delivering unique value, because that delivering the unique value component, that is going to be the little gold nugget that differentiates you in the marketplace and gives you your competitive advantage. And we also want to obviously look at performance measurement. We want to make sure we're keeping track of our progress. And by doing so, that's going to enable us to make not emotional decisions, but data-driven decisions. So that metrics component becomes very, very important. So I guess if you think of business strategy as the grand architect, we're crafting this blueprint, if you like, for the entire organization, and it will influence everything from resource allocation to employee development. Its goal really is there to ensure that everyone is aligned and working towards the same ambitious vision. Whereas, say, marketing strategy, it really is the voice of the business. So while business strategy sets the overall direction, it does need a powerful voice to then connect with the people. And that's both inside and outside the organization. And that's where marketing strategy has its role. It's the focused subset, if you like, of a business strategy. And it's there to orchestrate the communication and the promotion efforts of the business. So I'm sure this will come as no big surprise to you. So your marketing strategy is going to look at, things like your target audience, pinpointing the ideal customers that you want to pour your marketing magic on, your value proposition. So creating your value proposition and then crafting a compelling message that is absolutely going to resonate with your audience and also highlights your unique value. And that's where, when we work on brand strategy, we spend quite a bit of time around that, because once you get that and you get it right based off who your target audience is, you have a really strong proposition in the market. You also want to consider under your marketing strategy, your marketing mix. So that's really mastering the blend of product, price, promotion, place. We can go out to the full 7 Ps if you want to, but that's how you're going to reach your target audience. So what product are you taking to market, or product or service? What is your pricing strategy? How will you promote your business? And in what places or distribution will you use to reach your target audience? And then there's the communication channels. So choosing those right platforms and tactics that are going to best engage with your audience. And then, of course, forming part of that marketing strategy is your budget and resource allocation and optimization, which really, in essence, is making the most of your marketing resources to maximize your impact. And again, I harp back to how important being very clear on who your target audience is and what your value proposition is, because that is then going to make that budget allocation, resource optimization work so much better when you can be very clear about who your product or service is for. Now, I often think that of marketing strategy as a skilled orator, I guess, or I've quite often thought of them as the conductor within the orchestra. And, the role there of marketing strategy is to take that core message of the business strategy and amplify it to the world in a meaningful way. Now, typically you're going to use persuasive storytelling, very targeted communication, which I just covered off, and creative tactics to capture attention, drive engagement, and ultimately achieve the business goals. So, while quite clearly you can see that they work hand in hand, business and marketing strategies they are distinct entities. I just wanted to help further illustrate that all the difference between business strategy and marketing strategy with these 5 key differences. So if we first look at scope, so the scope of business strategy is much broader, encompasses all aspects of a business. So that's operations, finance, human resources, and of course, marketing. Whereas a marketing strategy, on the other hand, is much narrower and focuses solely on the marketing activities that a business will undertake to achieve those overall business objectives. The other thing to think about is time frame. So a business strategy is a long-term plan and it generally spans several years, while a marketing strategy is a shorter term plan and it's quite often reviewed and updated. And this could be definitely every year, and sometimes depending on the market in which you're operating, it could be even more frequently than that. Another component to think about within these marketing strategy versus business strategy is the focus. So business strategy focuses on your overall goals and objectives of the business, while marketing strategy focuses on the marketing activities that will achieve those goals and objectives. So when you think about that business strategy, as mentioned prior, is if it's covering everything from operations, what equipment are you going to require? How many bodies, humans, do you require to deliver the service? So think about that broader business strategy, whereas marketing will focus on lead generation, growing visibility of your business, repeat customer, building that loyalty, advocacy, all those kind of marketing initiatives. The other one to consider is your metrics. So a business strategy is measured in terms of overall business performance. So that would be metrics such as revenue or total sales, turnover, profit, so gross profit, net profit, and market share. Whereas marketing strategy, we're going to look at things like customer acquisition, customer retention, customer lifetime value, and then we'll dive a bit deeper into cost per acquisition and those different specific metrics. And then the last consideration when you're talking about or distinguishing between business strategy and marketing strategy is integration. So business strategy is essentially the foundations, if you like, of the business, obviously, and it's impacting every aspect of the business, whereas marketing strategy should seamlessly integrate into this foundation, but has that narrower focus on the marketing specific activities. And I will say, marketing, particularly your branding, will have impact on your internal and external communication. So keep that in mind. So whilst see it as the voice, it is absolutely talking internally as well, and can be a key contributor to building a really wonderful brand culture within the organization. It's also important to remember that these shouldn't operate in isolation or in silos. They should work in harmony, and one will each, influencing the other, if you like. So a robust business strategy provides the direction, the context, if you like, for impacting or impactful marketing efforts, whereas the successful marketing strategy contributes directly to achieving the ambitious goals outlined in the overall business plan. So if the CEO of the business or the business owner says, I want to grow market share by 5%, 10%, and then out of that will come, what are the strategies that we'll do to achieve that? And it might be a new product line, a new service offering. It could be entering a new market. And then we'll look at the pricing strategies around that, and then enroll some of the marketing to go, well, okay, who's going to be our target audience for this new product or service in this new market? What will we need to change, if anything? Can we roll out what we're already doing in other markets to attract in the same market? What sort of budget will we allow for this expansion in terms of driving leads, getting sales, and repeat business? So you can see how that all works hand in hand, or at least should. So now that we've covered the difference between business strategy and marketing strategy, I thought it might be helpful just to give you a few examples of business strategy versus marketing strategy from the real world. And yes, I've chosen some global brands, so hopefully, this will make sense. It'll really resonate with you because you know who they are and what they're in business for. So I guess a couple that really came to mind, I could have covered Tesla and I could have covered Nike, but I'm going to actually cover two other businesses. One is really an adventure clothing brand and another is an eyewear company. So the first one is Patagonia. And if we look at their business strategy, we could say that they focus on environmental sustainability, definitely high quality outdoor apparel. And I think you'd agree there's social activism there as well, very strong in their overall business strategy. Now, what does that mean in terms of their marketing strategy? So from me looking at what they're doing and how, their activities and how they're positioning themselves in the market, I would say that they absolutely partner with environmental organizations. They are definitely around crafting impactful storytelling campaigns as opposed to just, a retail tactical campaign. And what's another key part of their marketing strategy is using recycled materials in their product packaging, which obviously ties in nicely to their overall environmental sustainability messaging and stance as a business. Now, the alignment between business and marketing strengthens Patagonia's brand image, it attracts environmentally conscious customers, and it reinforces their core values. So amazing. I think they're doing a great job. And then the second example I wanted to give you is Warby Parker, the eyewear company. So if we look at their business strategy, they ultimately were born out of the idea of make affordable, stylish eyewear that's accessible through online sales and a direct-to-consumer model. Their marketing strategy definitely tied in heavily with social media engagement. They use influencers, so influencer partnerships, and they also look at a buy a pair, give a pair program. So they have a real lovely social program within their overall business strategy and proposition out in the marketplace. So this unified approach allows Warby Parker to connect with their target audience authentically, showcases their social mission, and obviously drives sales effectively. I mean, they've seen enormous growth since their inception. So I thought they were really two great examples to show you the business strategy and then the marketing strategy that falls out of that to support that overall business strategy. So to sum up for today's podcast, defining the difference between business strategy and marketing strategy. Business strategy is that long-term vision, that overarching plan, and it's going to steer the organization towards that desired future state. Whereas that marketing strategy, think of it as the powerful voice that's going to be used to connect with people, both internally and external to the organization. And it's there about, setting up those communication and promotional activities to achieve the overall business goals and objectives.
Thanks for listening to the What Matters Marketing Show. You can support the podcast by hitting follow or leaving a review. For more great marketing information to help build your business and a life that you love, head to whatmattersmarketing.com.